I'm Danni Sandford. I have been in the area for 3 years, again this time, and I lived here 13 years ago as well. So I met my husband Richie, who lived here at the time, about 15 years ago, and I moved here to be with him and love the area. And we moved away and had our children. We have 2 boys, and we went all the way around Australia. So many things really appealed to us, and we started going, could we go back? And we're like, yeah. The bay itself, the safety of the bay, the beauty, just being in the forest one moment and the coast the next, just so much beauty around. I always think of Apollo Bay as being in a hug by the hills, like, you know, a woman is just hugging the bay, and I love depicting that, love painting that, love trying to capture the beauty and the essence, and it really brings me a lot of joy. And that's part of, I think, my journey as an artist has been looking at colours and looking into the colour as well, and seeing things that necessarily you can't see immediately and bringing them out so that they can be seen. And I feel that I've always had a way of doing that, being able to see things that aren't necessarily available to see for others, and then being able to put that in and say, this is how it can be seen and this is how it is. So the mother, the measure, the matter is, it incorporates 3 prominent themes of the mother being our primary attachment figure. And for me, in my mothering journey, realizing that we can and need to elevate mothers to where we are cherishing, honouring and respecting them, and that will benefit us all, humanity, society and the earth, because when we tap into our divine feminine mother, we are also giving our love and thanks and respect to the earth as Mother Earth. So that means that the mother is the measure. She's the measure of our first relationship. And, you know, when we think about nature and nurture, when we nurture nature, it thrives. And when nature nurtures us, we thrive. So, and the matter is all things, and we are part of nature. I think we've been sold the line that we're separate, but we're coming to understand, no, we are all part of it. We're connected. So the birth of the mother and the opening of the third eye it depicts a bit of a transformation that happened within me, and I think that happens for many mothers, but not necessarily mothers of babies. When women birth projects or birth ideas or birth companies or a new house, or it's about that transcendence into a new phase. And the reason it's so graphic is because visually nature repeats itself everywhere. Visually, a vulva opening when the birth canal and the baby's birthing, it is an eye, you know. And when you see nature repeating everywhere, it's like signs from everywhere to that I just love. And I wanted to really depict that yes, this is the third eye opening. It's a portal from another place into the world. For a long time, it felt like I was never going to get to do any art ever again. in the trenches of mothering when they're young kids. It's full on, yeah. So, but looking back in hindsight, I think it never really stops, even when you think, oh, you know, you have a creative block or you just do not have time to do creating. There's two things. One is that visually, and when I go to sleep, I often think about artworks. And so I'll often have an idea that will float through my mind. Maybe I don't get to put that onto paper or canvas for years, but it's there, so it's always ticking away. And the other thing is that mothering is really creative, and, you know, not just in the sense of doing craft with the kids, in the sense of you can, and I do think we tap into a side of, we are building little pieces of art in our children, so or helping to build, because they're their own beings. Yeah, and I actually started using watercolor again, and realized that if I had just a little palette of watercolors, and I could start painting and stop, and that was just so key to mothering, because I could stop in between, attend to the kids. The watercolor dries, it's fine, it's not like acrylic paint, and there's no waste. It's a very small setup. You just need the palette and paper, brush and water, and you're right. So that really helped me do not necessarily a daily practice, but as much practice as I could, whether that was a few minutes or maybe I got to do half an hour. I tied my identity to mothering, and I was super excited, super happy too. I was like, this is my one thing I've wanted to do, and I'm doing it. And I was like, it's gonna be my main priority, and I'm gonna be this. And the reality is that you can lose yourself. And I feel that most of us do, which is natural. But when you can start to find yourself again, that just fills things that fill your cup, and this definitely fills my cup. So filling my own cup, fueling my fire, remembering me, because whilst I did transition from maiden to mother, that's not all who I am. There's still Danni inside. That I think it goes along with the mother, the measure, the matter, because to re-emerge means you have come from something else, and you are lifting up into you know, a better place. So I feel like both go hand in hand. Yeah. I'm really excited. It's definitely hard on your sleeve, like a piece of my body and soul. As you know, as an artist, you can feel that way about your work, so it's hugely vulnerable, but I'm ready.